Hi, it's Sean here. Today I'm just going to show you how to use speech bubbles and how to put speech bubbles onto your images on Photoshop. So I'm going to use this image here, so let's just open that in Photoshop. Come on, there we go. Okay. First of all, I'm just going to duplicate the layer, so we do that by pressing Ctrl and J. So that gives us a reference point from our background layer, and we can also go back if we make a mistake. So the two tools we're going to be using today are going to be this text tool and also this shape tool. We're also going to be using the move tool as well. So we want to put text on our images because people sometimes want to use speech bubbles on our images because people like to tell stories or people like to make kind of comic strips out of their photographs. You can put a sequence of images together and tell some kind of story or show some kind of conversation that's happening. Okay, so first of all, I'm just going to start off by clicking this shape tool. Now you'll see that the toolbar changes at the top, and you should have a little shape section. Okay, so if you just click on this shape section, you'll see a whole variety of different shapes. And then the one that's selected at the moment is the one I'm going to be using, so that's the speech bubble one. Okay, now you can download more shapes from the internet to use, but in this circumstance, I'm not going to do that. Okay, so I'm going to select the speech bubble one. I'm also going to make sure that my stroke here is actually selected on fill. Okay, so this little icon here, so this solid color it should be, so it should pop up with solid color, as you can just see. Yeah, solid color. Okay, that's what we need it to be, and then we want that solid color, the fill color. So if we click on fill, we can change the color. So I want that color to be black. Okay, because the black is going to work really nicely with this white here. Okay, so all I'm simply going to do is draw on that speech bubble. Okay, now if I hold down shift, like when we're using transform, that'll keep it in proportion. Or if I take my finger off shift and don't hold shift down, you can do it manually. Okay. Okay, I'm just going to select the move tool. I'm just going to move that around. And see now because we've pressed, now because we've used that stroke button and fill, that's filled that space, all with black. Okay. So what we need to do next is actually put some text in there. So we're going to type into this speech bubble. So we do that by pressing the clicking and selecting the text tool on the left-hand toolbar. Okay, and we just want to click inside this shape. Okay. So now because it's on black, the best thing for me to do is going to have a white text. Okay, so I've selected a white text here on my color panel at the top. So I've already got white text selected. I'm just going to resize this text box as well, which you might want to do, just to make it a little bit smaller, just so I can make sure it's going to fit in. It's going to fit in actually inside that shape. So let's get right in. Let's put okay, I've got a funny feeling that something strange is going to happen. Okay, so that fits in there quite nicely at the moment. I've also been using 100 size font. Sometimes that number might need to be larger. Sometimes that might need to be smaller, but it depends on usually depends on the size of your image. Okay, so I'm just going to select the move tool. Okay, I'm just going to move that bit of text down. Okay, if you want to change the font, make sure that you've got the layer selected. It should have automatically given you a text layer, okay, on your layers panel. And click on the text tool again. Click on the bit of text and then simply highlight it, and then you can change your font. So let's change it for there we go. Let's try that. That's quite comic book style. And let's try moving that. There we go. Okay, so we've got our first speech bubble as well. Okay, so let's try something different. Let's try a different shape then. So let's let's try this crash shape here, so this little starburst. Okay, let's put that. Let's try it with a different color. So let's have like a red. So if we go to fill, okay, first of all let's draw it. It doesn't seem to be, yeah. So let's draw that. So let's put that over here. Okay, and let's just change that color. So if we go back to fill, if we select red, that will fill it in red for us. Okay, so if we just we can now move this around. Okay, so we can use that as another speech bubble. So what we can put something else in there. What we could also do with this, let's just experiment with this quickly. This shape here, we could actually, we've got another layer, okay, where that shape is. So what we could do is go back to custom shape. Let's draw that layer again, that shape again, but let's put it on top of this one. So for instance, if we wanted to we've got red, so let's think of it. So let's put a yellow. Okay, so let's make a new layer. We change that to yellow, so let's make a new layer. Okay, so we've got a new layer now. So what we can do is actually make this shape again. So let's do this shape again, but let's just do it slightly smaller. Okay, and that's come on black. So let's change that color. Let's change that to red. Okay, and then we'll use the move tool, and let's move that move tool. So let's put that. There we go. Okay, so now we've got this big kind of starburst, this big crash. So let's try using the text tool again, and let's put some text over this. So let's put. I'm going to draw the text on just away from that shape, so it doesn't go into the shape. And let's see. Okay, let's just pretend that it's going to be a bang. So let's write bang with a big exclamation mark. Okay, and let's change that text to 200, so let's double that in size. Okay, what we can also do is change that text color as well. So let's change that to black, and it might show up a little bit more. Bang. There we go. Okay, so that's some ways that we can start to use speech bubbles and introducing speech bubbles onto our images. Okay, so I hope that helps. If you got any questions, then please feel free to email me.